In this session, class constants. What is a class member constant? Constant visibility and declaration. Assigning default values to constants. And we'll discuss constant scope and a few best practices along the way. Class constants belong to a class, just like properties and methods. Class constants are always publicly visible, and that relates to the constant value accessibility from other scopes. This concept will become more clear when we work with the class as an instance object in the following module. They are declared within the class scope just like a class property, but without a leading dollar sign. In the UML diagram here, we can see a name constant using uppercase letters set to a string. Like constants declared with the define PHP function, they are unchangeable at runtime. Use a class constant whenever you have more than one reference to a value within a class. For example, you may have a name constant set to some name, and more than one method within the class will refer to that same constant name. So instead of duplicating or making the name reference multiple times and hard coding that name reference, just reference the constant name, have the name reference declared at the top. Let's look at what I have in the IDE at this point. Here in the form class, I've added the name constant at the top with the const keyword and set its value to standard form. I've also added two methods, setName and getName. SetName allows for setting the name property to a value passed as a parameter. And conditionally, if no value is passed in, the name property will be set to the value of the constant name above, as we see in the else statement. The getName method just returns the value of the class property name. We are using the $this special variable and the keyword self. Both are used to reference class member values or methods, including class constants. I'll make a distinction between the use case for the $this special variable and the self keyword in the module on objects. But for now, the self keyword is used to reference the class constant name. The formal syntax for the class constant shown here, the keyword const followed by the constant name in uppercase and a value assigned explicitly. As of the time of this recording, in reference to the latest PHP version, one thing to keep in mind is that constants need assignment and cannot be an expression or a function return value. A class constant only exists within the class scope itself and only applicable to the class scope. And, like class properties and methods, its value is protected from naming collisions.